Hey everyone, welcome to a very special meeting of greens that you can see. So, Matt, I'm here, I'm taking control. I'm going to try to actually in this panel. We have a very special panel. We have um, a Frenchie from Smoke of the North,
Yes, sir.
Chris from what, no, Smith, right?
Yeah, Smith for the real. Run
Smith
entertainment,
on the
baby.
real. David and Golino himself, Evan. How are you all doing tonight?
We're good. I'm good.
Great.
Yeah.
Happy
We're,
to be here. Thank you for inviting me, dude.
Oh, anytime, anytime. And technically, we let the guests pick, and technically, Frenchie is a guest. So, why don't you say what the topic is?
All right. Well, I didn't want to do it alone. Okay. I needed help because I don't want to be the only pervert on screen here or look like a pervert on screen. Nah. It's something I've been wanting to. I'm sorry, Evan. I love you. It's something I've been wanting to do for a little while on Ben's show. Is talk about the top 5 celebrity crushes because good Lord, I've been having since a kid. I think everyone does. It's unavoidable. And this is not just present year. I've seen the list. I'm privileged, and there's from different generations. So this is going to be an interesting topic. So let's start with Dagan himself. We're going to go clockwise with Dagan, Ben, Frenchie, Chris, and save the best for last, Evans. And we will talk about our crushes. So Dagan, my man, who is your number 5?
All right, so this was a tough one for me because there were a few that I had kind of in a battle for the number 5th spot here. So I have a couple honorable mentions. Margot Robbie was pretty close to being in the top 5. You can't go wrong there. Academy Award nominee, just absolutely crushed it in Wolf of Wall Street. Zendaya was also nearly in the top 5. Just an absolute beautiful actress, and recently really liked her performance in Malcolm and Marie. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but definitely worth checking out. But my number 5 spot is an absolute goddess of an actress. It's Eva Green. There she is. Look at how beautiful. I mean, that's just a totally stunning photograph right there. I think I first saw her in the James Bond movie, Casino Royale. She did an absolutely amazing job. This was the first time you really saw, actually kind of the second, but so it was the first time for Daniel Craig, at least, or a modern day James Bond, to really fall in love. And so you really had to cast somebody that was, convincing as somebody that James Bond, who has slept with every woman on the planet, conceivably, would legitimately fall in love with and form a relationship. And I think Eva Green was perfect for that role. So that's my number 5, Eva Green, just absolute, as I said, a goddess actress.
And I must say, like, again, something about the crazy eyes. I love the crazy eyes, and something so intense about her. Her performance in 300, the second one.
Yeah, she stole that movie.
Oh god,
she stole the show.
She's able to be feminine and beautiful and elegant, but there's this rage to her that makes her even more beautiful. Like there's like different sides of her, right? So yeah, I like that choice, man.
And she didn't even play that in Casino Royale. Like she was nothing like that.
No,
because I actually recently watched Casino Royale for the first time not too long ago, like a month ago, and when I saw her pop up, I'm like, oh hey, like I know who that is, and she did not play the same character from 300 Rise of the Empire, or Rise of an Empire. You know what I'm talking about, the bad one. But no, yeah, like Eva Green, like of course, like I think I'd tell a lot of folks would agree with you in that sentiment. She may not have. I wouldn't consider her a celebrity crush of mine, but of course I'll get to mine in a bit. But yeah, like of course she's beautiful, 100%.
And I didn't. I've been talking. What about you, Evan? You have any feelings on her, or is like, yeah?
Oh, I mean, she's cool. I mean, I have no, yeah. I mean, like, I've said this before. My criteria when I get to my picks, they're in no particular order except for my number 1 pick. I'm in love with this woman. I am married, but I'm in love with this other woman. But my criteria is I would marry these women. I don't know Eva Green enough to marry her, so no, I can't say anything. Can't say
Fair
anything.
enough. And to be fair, I think a few of these ladies on my list are married already. So apologies. I'm not trying to offend, but this is about having.
I'm so hurt
Not so much like
that you would desecrate the institution of marriage.
That Evan has dedicated his life to.
My life is dedicated to the institution of marriage and only that.
And before we continue, of course, this is all in fun. This is all playful. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. And yes, we know all these people these are all normal people that have regular lives. We just see them in movies and stuff. Right. So it's as simple as that.
All right, so let's go to Ben's number 5, my man. Who is your number 5?
My number 5 is probably the youngest on my list. Her name is Skylar Samuels, and I saw her in The Gifted. Look at that. Oh. I like her. She's so, how do I say this without sounding
like a pervert? Okay. wait. Let me put this and go.
I swear, if you get all of our asses canceled, I swear, I'm gonna leave. No.
Warning! Your career is in danger. Warning! Your career is in danger. No, sorry, continue.
No, but I've never heard of her. Has anyone else heard of her?
She looks familiar.
No.
She's new. I just know her from this one show, where it's like an X-Men show. And she has
The Gifted?
sisters. Yeah, The Gifted.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
That's what I know her from, yeah.
She has three identical triplets who have telekinetic powers.
Okay.
Powerful, scary, and beautiful. And that's why. And she can make, even though toughest man weak in the news. That's what I was saying.
All right.
I don't know if I've actually seen her in anything because I haven't seen. You said it's called The Gifted. I haven't seen that. But no.
She looks like somebody else.
She looks familiar. She actually looks like somebody I know.
She has a bit of what's that girl's name? She's actually from Quebec, Montreal. They're playing 24. Jack Bauer's daughter.
Elijah Cuthbert?
Yeah, she has a bit of that vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, never heard of her. All right. So my number 5, look, she's the only geek in my number 5, and I saw her for the first time. I fell in love, and my exes had to endure it, and I didn't care. For me, my girl, Miss Emma Fife.
Oh, wow.
That's sweet.
I love. There's something so awesome about her. It's like it's a type of girl I just want to drink a couple of beers, play video games, probably got a couple of RPGs, and chill with. But she definitely melted my heart the first times, and more she grew in Schmodown. More I was really rooting for her every time I saw her, and at the end I was like, yeah, I kind of have a crush on her. So no, but for me, Emma Fife will all probably be my It's funny, like my number 5 wasn't wiggling. It's my number 4 that was always going back and forth. For me, Emma Fife was staying there.
that was
if that makes sense. Yeah.
I actually met Emma Fife at Celebration a couple years ago, and she's rad. Like, she's so dope. And what's it called? Because she's been around this whole space that we're a part of, right, for years now. Yeah. And yeah, she may not be directly involved in it, but like there's a point where we got a lot of Emma Fife for the better. Yeah. So hell yeah, man, good on you.
And she might come back. She could always come back for all we know.
Mm-hmm. I think she's pretty busy with that show that she's doing right now. It's kind of like a nerdy type of show. I forget what it's called, but
it's
yeah,
G4, but not G4.
G4, right.
No, but like it's not G4. It's like it's something like it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I keep seeing it on Instagram. Never watch it so far because I have just no time. I barely have time to watch Schmodown, and I kind of have to because we do shows about it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think we all watch that movie trivia thing from time to time.
Yeah, apparently it's. I guess it's the reason why we're all here and we know each other now.
Apparently.
Probably. I know
Alright.
you guys from Schmodown. Yeah, but just to quickly add to that, I could do like a separate list for my Schmodown community-related crushes. But
I have a crush on everyone
not this
that's
show.
in the Facebook group. Every single person.
Okay.
Including me.
I would hope that I'm at the top of these lists, folks.
Of course, of course.
Evan, you are.
Naturally.
It's Evan, goal leader,
Yeah.
the top Star Wars player in the exchange.
Yeah.
The
Mr.
guy that
Bushkar.
beat
The
Lacey
bottom Star
Gillerin.
Wars player in the exchange too. As
Yes,
well. Yeah.
and the like the guy that beat Lacey Gillerin and the guy that
Yeah.
lost to Thomas Harper. Like
Okay,
all
yeah.
that's my top five.
Honestly, I can swear here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that guy who lost to Thomas Harper. I don't know who that guy is.
Hey,
I
1
don't know
point,
who the hell
man.
that
1
guy
point. 1
Hey,
point.
no.
Come on.
But
Letter.
he was so good looking.
He'll get him next time. He'll get him
Yeah.
next time.
It's
Yeah.
true.
All right, Chris. Let's go to your number 5. Who'd you have on?
So just to preface, of course, like the whole celebrity crush thing. I was trying to remember my first one because like that's something where I'm like, yo, like who was I crushing on? I kept going back to like Amy Jo Johnson. She played Kimberly in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And like who else was it? It was this again it's gonna be weird. But like Shigo from Kim Possible.
Oh
Like-
yes.
I think like we all had
Wow.
like and
Oh.
it was like just like just being a kid and it's like
Real quick.
like but she's pretty
Let me interject. Raven from Teen Titans was.
yeah Raven
I wanted to marry that
Starfire like
No,
they're-
Raven all day long.
Raven okay that's a whole different conversation for a different day but I do want to spotlight 2 honorable mentions Karen Allen from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Like she was just badass, and I think she was the first, like female character from a movie where I'm like, oh yeah, like not only does she wrote, but she's like beautiful and she's gorgeous. And Nicole Kidman from Batman Forever, some honorable mentions. But
Good choice.
my number 5, she's relatively newer to Hollywood, but I think she's absolutely beautiful. It's Anya Taylor-Joy.
Ooh.
Anya Taylor, like she's
Nice.
like this incredibly talented actress, and like you see her on screen, she's gorgeous. And I've been watching a bunch of interviews with her recently. Like she's been all over the place promoting stuff, of course, because she's like she's going to be the shit in Hollywood within 5 years. She's going to be like, she's going to be the actress that everybody wants in her movie if they already don't want her. And I'm like, yo, like she's just like naturally beautiful, and it's so hard to pinpoint what like ethnicity she is.
Yeah, but
because I was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, you know what? I just give up because like she's gorgeous. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I'll put her back on screen because she's the most unique beauty. She's really unique. Like no one I know looks like her, and it's very interesting. You got like the Michelle Pfeiffers, and like there's beauties, and then there's like so unique to their own style and their own physique that you can't really replicate it.
Right. And for me, because I didn't watch The Witch, I didn't watch Queen's Gambit. I just knew of Anya Taylor-Joy, but the first thing I saw her in that I remember was New Mutants. Like when I went to go see it in the theater late last year, in my hazmat suit when I went to the movie theater, and I was I'm like, yo, like who is this? Like I'm like, oh, it's Anya Taylor-Joy, like, and she's pretty rad. So yeah, that's my number 5, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Wasn't she in Split?
In
Oh,
what?
yeah, she was in Split.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she
yeah,
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
She was
She
really
wasn't
good.
Split.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her.
Okay. Wasn't she for a second?
Right, but I think when I watched her in New Mutants, that's when I'm like, yeah, like I like she, like that's like celebrity crush status. Like I had to keep that in mind for when Frenchie had asked me to do this. I'm like, damn, like 5, and I'm like, you know what, like yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy. Like she's stunning as you just saw. So and she's an incredible actress.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
so good at what she does.
The-
So yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, number 5.
The Queen's Gambit, the range she has, like when she
Yeah,
starts as a kid to when she's actually professional, like she's able to transform a character, and even her physique, the way she carries herself, the way she speaks, you can see an evolution in every episode, and that is a sign of, like you said, if not already, a top-notch celebrity in the next couple of years that's going to be, asked for a long time. All right, so
Look
let's
out!
go.
One last thing about Anya Taylor-Joy. Look out for Last Night in Soho coming out later this year.
Yeah.
She is gonna destroy that movie in a good way, of course.
Hell yeah, dude. I find it. I will find it hard for me to believe if someone tells me she's bad in something. I will find that hard to believe.
Correct.
But I digress. Evan, please.
So again, my 5 are in no particular order, except my number 1 is my number 1. But while we're already talking about her, I'll just go ahead and say my number 5 by this point is also Anya Taylor-Joy. That's the repeat. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she's so good in The Witch. Like that movie. Okay, I'm really big into like movies about religion, and so like that movie, her story, the character, like the story that character goes through is like the liberate. Like you almost support her joining this coven at the end of the movie. It's spoilers, I guess. But anyway.
No, for a movie that came out like 10 years ago or something.
Well, it was like 5 years ago.
5 years ago,
6 maybe. But no, it's basically like she's like I don't know what religion she is at the beginning. I think she's like a Puritan at the beginning of the movie, and then she joins this coven by the end of the movie. Like essentially, she relieves herself of her convictions, and it's really neat. So she was on my acting radar ever since that point. But then I saw Split, and I fell in love with this woman. But she's also
rad too.
That's a great movie. She's also really good in Thoroughbreds. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Seen it. No.
It's I forget the plot like as a whole, but she's very good in that movie. She's like friends with somebody who's like straight faced, like sociopath, and it's their kind of relationship. I think they're like plotting to kill somebody or like thinking about killing somebody together. And it's a really interesting movie. But yeah, I think she's I like unique looking people. I think she's a very unique looking person. And so, yeah, she's great. She's really cool. Also, to answer your question, I believe she's from Argentina. I think that's
what the hell?
Right. No, I think that is where she's from.
I thought she was Russian.
No, I believe she's from Argentina.
What?
Yeah. I can Google that really quick, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Oh my God, she's South American?
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. It's tough to figure out what her ethnicity is because she's got a whole bunch of different.
She doesn't have an accent, like at least that type of accent.
She's an American-born Argentine-British actress.
Right. She's got like a British accent, but she pulls off like every accent. She's done like she was like Russian in New Mutants. She's been American in a couple movies, so like she's really just that shows how talented she really is.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Y'all watch Split, y'all watch Thoroughbreds and The Witch.
Apparently she's really good in Emma too. That came out, I think. Last year.
Like last year. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so apparently that's all. She was also pretty great in that. But Anya Taylor-Joy, is that the one overlap?
I think that's the only overlap.
Frenchie was telling us before the show started that we had one overlap.
But that was it.
That was it.
That was it. The rest
crazy.
is completely different.
Sweet.
Nice.
I like it. We're real diverse here.
Well, yeah. Let's go on to Dagan's number 4. Who's your number 4, man?
Okay. So Chris might be the only one to know who this is, and she's not an actress. This is actually a wrestler. She's from AEW. Just an absolute stunningly beautiful talent here. Great in ring. Her name is Hikaru Shida. She's the former. That's not Hikaru Shida. You got the wrong picture. I told you to Google Hikaru Shida wrestler because it's a very common name in Japan. It's not her.
Well, let me. You know what? Send it to me, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent my own.
I'm gonna post it in the chat here.
Well, in the meantime,
Hikaru
this is
Shida.
not her.
That's not her. Google Hikaru Shida AEW and it'll come up. All right. But yeah, she was just had like a year-long run with the women's title, and just one of the best, not just female workers, but one of the best in-ring talents that I think AEW has to offer right now. Yeah, she's just an absolutely another really, really beautiful person. And I think when it comes to like meeting wrestlers, this is somebody that's definitely at the top of my list of ones that I'd like to meet. She's Japanese originally, so her accent is pretty thick. And there you go. There's Sheeta. There she is.
That's Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, and her favorite toy is the kendo stick. She likes to inflict damage with that. So love Sheeta. And yeah, as I said, I don't know if any of you other guys know who she is, other than Chris. You know who she is.
Yeah, Hikaru Shida, she rules. She's single-handedly carried the women's division in All Elite Wrestling throughout the pandemic, and now that people are starting to go back to things, they took the belt off of her, unfortunately. But I'm a big fan of Hikaru Shida. Like, she's the best. Like, she's so damn good.
Yeah, and you have the pronunciation.
I was going to say, I actually really appreciate that too.
Hikaru Shida. Yeah.
You know what we need to do? Okay, here's what we need to do as a culture. We need to stop. Like, this isn't what you were doing. That's not what I'm saying. Every time I've used like the correct pronunciation of somebody's name who is not from the United States, people give me shit for it and they laugh at me. But we should normalize that, okay? Like, let's normalize that.
I would love my name to be pronounced right for once. Yes. No one ever does it. No one ever does it.
How do you pronounce it, Frenchie?
Yeah, pronounce it.
Louis Monette.
Louis Monette. Okay, word.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone calls me Louis Monetti.
See, that's not, and maybe I get that from like being Latino. Like there's certain words and names they have to enunciate a certain way. But
like Latino, for instance.
Yeah, like Latino, to be frank. But no, hell yeah, let's normalize pronouncing people's names correctly or the way they were intended. Yeah. And
from somebody with a name like mine, nobody ever pronounces my name correctly, and I kind of love it. Like, to be honest, like, it's hilarious. It's hilarious hearing different people attempt, like, Dagon, Degan, I've heard, Deegan. It's ridiculous. And also my full name is so crazy long and complicated that it's just like, just call me D or Broad, like, but it is
D-Broad.
D-Broad, yeah. But it's pretty funny. I gotta say, I get a kick out of it.
But for sure, big love to Hikaru Shida, for real. She rules. She kicks so much ass.
All right, so let's go to Ben's number 4.
My number 4 is a character who also is a big wooden stick. Celeb Keller.
He's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. She's in Star Wars also.
Yeah.
The animated, but still counts.
Okay, fair. I mean, do I even have to explain? She's a kick-ass character actress who did her own show for so long.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about that elephant in the room, man. She was incredible on that show. And I just fell in love with her from that show.
And sacrifice being an actress for being a mom, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a big step. It's a lot of money. I'm sure she's passionate about it, but to be able to step away and dedicate her life to the kids and her husband too at the same time, right? The whole family did it, and that's
her husband, who was a former Schmodown competitor, also.
Yes. First of all, I stan Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. 100%. They're freaking incredible. Ever since Scooby Doo, man.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, people sleep on those movies. Yeah, no, as a child, I was in love with Daphne, but as an adult, I'm in love with Velma.
I think that's a natural progression.
Agree.
I didn't put Linda Cardellini on my list, but I love Linda Cardellini.
Damn!
I think she's so cool.
Linda Cardellini.
Freaking Geeks is such a good show too. Also starring a Schmodown former competitor and current manager. Crazy, I know, but no. Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar, they actually have a scene or two together in Star Wars. they fight, like their characters fight. It's really
Oh,
good.
that's rad.
They like
Yeah,
flirt
Kate-
with each other. The characters flirt.
Isn't she one of the Inquisitors, and then
Yeah.
Kanan is Frankie? So
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Seventh sister,
Yeah,
I want to say.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
right.
right.
But yeah, no, Sarah Michelle Gellar's awesome.
But and to address the elephant in the room, like Sarah Michelle Gellar is just as pivotal to the success of Buffy as Joss Whedon is in hindsight.
Yeah.
Like I'll be the first person to say that. Like I think Sarah Michelle Gellar, she's such she's a pillar of geek culture just for Buffy, and it's an Angel that came after that. But show like respect where respect is due. Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she was like, yeah, we mentioned Daphne, but wasn't she in I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah,
Was that
I
her
think
too?
she was.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so like she's done some pretty like iconic stuff.
Cool attention. With that iconic scene.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
With her and him up there and cool intentions. And then
Oh God, yeah. Okay.
Like she's done some talk about nerdy. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar's one nerdy ass choice.
Yeah.
She's done
But
some
I mean,
obscure projects for sure.
right, in her career, I don't think her credits she doesn't have too many. At
She
least,
kicked that dude's ass on Spooky Island or whatever.
yeah,
Remember that big
luchador-looking
luchador
dude?
guy?
Damn, that movie rules. Both those
that
movies
movie
rule.
does fucking yes, absolutely. Those movies, like I watched them with my wife like last year. We were just like trying to get a kick out of them, like the nostalgia kick, and I was like, "Oh, these movies are about to be so stupid." And I'm like, "Holy shit, this movie is making me cry right now." It's pretty crazy. It's James Gunn. James Gunn knows how to
Right,
tell a
yeah.
story.
He wrote
Yeah.
them both, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn.
So on to my number 4. Hey, I actually put a wrestler as well onto my list. Something about, again, the Crazy Eyes. I love intensity. I love that's her character. She doesn't seem to be like that in real life, but her character is extremely intense and something so. How can I say this? It has a presence to her, and that is Alexa Bliss.
Word.
Wow.
Right.
All right.
I'm not big into wrestling, but I start watching the new era of WWE because of Alexa Bliss. She has such a unique presence, and I actually like her current storyline, almost like the undead Alexa Bliss. She's
I'm gonna
really
have to start.
interesting.
I'm gonna have to start yelling at you like Jay Wade does, man, about this current Alexa Bliss. Really, you like the 10-year-old girl that does voodoo? What the fuck?
She does.
I love
creepy
Alexa
well.
Bliss, but come on.
She does creepy well. What kind of? And I'm sorry, no one can replace Jay Wade. That was weak. Jay Wade will have like a vein popping, an eye twitching, probably fall on the ground a couple of times, not breathing, then coming back. So it's not even close.
Yeah, I love you, Jay Wade. If you're watching, I love you, brother.
Come on.
He yells so loud that his mic cuts out, and you can't hear what he's saying for about 20 seconds.
Clips.
Oh my god! But no, Alexa Bliss. That's another great one. She's like when she popped up on this, and when she really made a name for herself in WWE, when she split from the tag team she was a part of with what was it? Dagan, who was she with? It was Buddy Murphy.
Blake, or no,
it was Blake,
yeah,
Blake
Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. Yeah,
right. And when
she was dating Buddy Murphy at the time, I think.
Right.
That was part of it.
And she was just like their valet, their glorified manager. But when she broke apart from them, that's when she really like became her own character. She's low key, and I know the whole storyline right now is sort of divisive with wrestling fans. But she's incredibly slept on in regards to some of the better women's wrestlers of the 2010s. Like I think she's looked over she's looked over all the time. At least I shouldn't say looked over. She's underrated still somehow.
And one of the better heels too. And you know, like really convincing against what her feud with Ronda Rousey, I remember being really good. And another one that's like underrated in ring wise too. Like I've seen her put on some really good matches against like Charlotte or, you know, Bailey or whoever on Raw. But yeah, really good worker. And what was that?
Vegas scored.
Vegas scored. Oh, okay.
Damn it.
Priorities, man. You know, that's my man wears the Vegas jersey.
Hey, to bring bad luck, it's not working, man.
But but the Alexa Bliss pick, that's rad. I like that. That's dope.
All right, but let's see if your pick is as rad. Who's your number 4, Mr. Chris?
So for context, I work in radio. I'm a radio guy. So pop music is something I spend a lot of time with, and I've not gotten to see this person in concert, but admittedly, me and my buddy Victor, we both love this person because their music's fantastic, and she happens to be gorgeous. It's Halsey. Halsey is somebody who she blew up a few years ago. I think it was 2016, but Halsey is like this. She's incredibly talented. She's going to be an actress. She's going to act with Sydney Sweeney in a TV show, I believe. And I'm like, okay, well, that's rad. And like, of course, I think she just is just like naturally good looking. But I didn't realize this until recently. Like she's black, like she's half black. And I'm like, oh, that's rad. And like I didn't know that.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah,
I would have never guessed.
I would have never.
And
I would have never guessed. I forgot who. Someone told me, and I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. It was an Anya Taylor-Joy thing. I'm like, no, like that's not it. But no, like Halsey, like it's more so like I'm a pop head, and I love pop music, and I think her music's stellar, and she's an awfully attractive human being, but she's so talented, and that's a recurring theme in my list. I like
talent is sexy. Talent is
in
sexy.
a way, yeah. Like like the people's talent and what they could bring to the respective art. Like spoiler alert, every person on my list is some type of artist in some way, shape, or form, and like I'm a fan of people's work, and it's like, like Anya Taylor-Joy, the stuff I've seen her in, fantastic. Halsey, I listen to her music all the time, admittedly. So Halsey, my number 4.
All right. And what about you, Mr. Evan?
Okay, so again, I like to reiterate this because I'm not, there's no order for what I'm doing. But I'm going to go another artist, speaking of really talented people. This is an actress and rapper, and she is Aquafina. She's fucking incredible. I love this woman. I think she is so cool. If y'all haven't seen The Farewell, please watch The Farewell. It's a very sad but very bittersweet kind of movie. She's just cool. Like I watch the Off Camera Show. If y'all ever watch the Off Camera Show, it's very like kind of just relaxed, toned down interviews of celebrities and everything. She's a great interview on there. But yeah, she's really cool. I just kind of a common thread, Chris, as well as a lot of my list of artistic people. And yeah, I haven't listened to much of her music actually, but I've really loved the performances that I've seen from her lately. Like she was in Crazy Rich Asians, which was also really
so
great.
Funny in that.
That's a great. Yeah, I didn't see that movie in theaters, but I fucking should have. I watched it only like a year ago for the first time.
I watched it like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's so good. It's but yeah. Anyway, watch The Farewell, please. That movie deserves more recognition. But yeah, that's great.
She was in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
She was
great. Same here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing her in Shang-Chi. New trailer for it just dropped right before we went on the air.
Shang-Chi looks fucking awesome.
She looks awesome. I can't wait. Like I wasn't as sold to the first trailer, but this one that just dropped, I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm psyched for Shang-Chi now.
Simu Liu is really cool too. I think he's like a perfect choice. Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, as guys say, us Canadians love some Kim's Convenience. Yeah. So that was a shocker when I saw he got casted. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Just by the way, apparently, so that new trailer dropped and Abomination's in it.
Oh, yeah, what?
That's who he's fighting in the cage at the end. That's Abomination.
No shit.
Yeah, if you look
like
closely.
From the is it the same? Is it what's his face?
Tim Roth?
Is it Tim Roth? Yeah.
I think it's just the CGI like version of him, but
My
like,
buddy
is it
just
supposed
texted
to
me.
be
He's like, "Yo,
surprised.
Abomination's back." I'm like,
Is it
"Ooh,
supposed to be the same one? Is it the same character?
no way."
I think so. That because the
No
rumor was
way.
the rumor was he's coming back for like Armor Wars or one of those Disney.
He's
Plus
doing
shows.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk,
Oh, yeah.
right? That's it. Of course.
Have they cast She-Hulk, right?
And
Yeah.
Tatiana Maslany.
Okay.
it would be a Marvel thing to do, to get something like everyone forgot and just connect it to the tissue. Because why not? It's available. I mean, why not? All right, so let's go on to Dagan's choice. Who is your number 4? Number 3 now.
Let's quit this Marvel speculation show here, right? But actually, funny enough, the next actress that I picked is in the MCU. And what actually? So my sorry there, Frenchie, but the next two are kind of out of order. So I don't know if we can go.
Last minute change, baby. Last minute change.
Last minute change. My number 2 is my number 3.
Okay. No,
Okay.
Go. Say the name, I'll pop it up, my man.
Okay, so I've always kind of had a little bit of a thing for redheads, and I didn't realize, because I think my first introduction to this actress was in Guardians of the Galaxy. She had so much makeup on that it's tough to tell, but it's Karen Gillan. And I think I really turn that fucking hockey game down, man. Come on now. No, just
I'm a stream it live, you bastard. I'm a stream it live.
put it next to us here. Yeah. No, but yeah, Karen Gillan. I think like I got the full look at her in the Jumanji movies, and kind of, man, she looks really good in that crop top kind of thing in that movie. And I've got, obviously that's like an avatar. Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, she's really great. I like her acting depth as the Nebula character, especially in like Endgame, where she has to go back and kind of play the character from the first movie, opposite her character that's evolved so much over the course of these movies.
It's fucking genius.
Yeah, and just it takes a lot to like put that much makeup on, and tolerate it for all these movies. But of course, she's making millions of dollars. But yeah, just I feel like someone that doesn't get talked a lot about in terms of like beauty and sort of she's not on like maybe the top of many people's lists, but man, I'm madly in love with Karen Gillan. Sorry, gotta admit.
He has that new Netflix movie coming out. That looks fun.
For
really? Okay.
For me, it was Doctor Who all the way.
I was about to say that's my introduction too.
Yeah, when I saw her, I was like, a redhead on Doctor Who. Okay, that's different.
We've seen like the one episode of Doctor Who as well. Like,
yeah, that's my thing. I never really got into Doctor Who, so I don't think I really saw her until Guardians. But
I remember watching that episode.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh, Karen.
So the new movie that's coming out is called Gunpowder Milkshake. I think, is that right? With Lena Headey and Carla Gugino, and it just looks like 3 badass ladies like going on.
I think there's a trailer. If I remember
up.
correctly, the trailer was out and it kicks ass.
Carla
That
Gugino,
movie kicked ass.
Yeah, they look like just 3 absolute badass ladies, kind of almost like a Charlie's Angels thing, but like maybe more of a heist, I think, or a revenge thriller type of thing.
Shout out to Carla Gugino and Spy Kids.
Yes.
Big shout out.
Yes, Miss Cortez. Yes.
Wait. Is that the same? Are we talking about curly hair girl?
What? No, she's the mom.
She's the mom.
Oh,
Kids.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
She's, I forgot what her name was in that movie.
That movie rules.
Miss Cortez.
All right. So let's go on to Ben's number 3. Who do you have, man?
My number 3 is somebody who is big in the 80s, big in the 90s, and big in the 2000s. You know her from Married with Children, from In Command, Christina Applegate.
Oh God,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Do y'all remember on the Eric Andre show? Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to Christina Applegate.
Somebody who you know you love, who is very what is the word? Who can play all kinds of funny comedic characters.
Yeah.
This is awesome actress to watch on TV. And all movies in command. This great oh god. I love.
I gotta say, so far your track record, Ben, I think you have a thing for blondes. I'm just saying.
That might change. That might change.
It might change. Let's continue. But right now, I'm seeing blonde. So I'm just saying.
Yo, Veronica Corningstone in Anchorman, like she's so funny in that movie. Like, that Anchorman, first of all, I forget how much I love that movie, but when I pop it on, I crack my ass up the entirety of the film.
Yo, I've never seen it.
Oh, dude! It's my favorite Will Ferrell movie. Really? I love Anchorman.
Means the second one, my favorite.
It's between that and Step Brothers for me. I think it's got to be between those two.
Wait, so what's your first, Frenchie?
There's a lot of good ones.
No, but I mean, Anchorman 2 is my favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You like the second one better? Okay.
That's an awfully popular opinion.
I don't give a shit.
But shout out to the other guys, too.
Do you, man?
Like, the other guys hysterical.
Yes.
But Christina Applegate, because the whole shtick in Anchorman is that they're all like incredibly misogynistic towards her because she's a woman, but she's so funny in that movie. Oh my god, Christina Applegate rules.
Don't forget Catherine Hahn is also in that movie.
Catherine Hahn too, yeah. Shout out to Catherine Hahn.
Yeah,
and she's in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's in and Elf.
She did a lot of those old like Will Ferrell comedies. Yeah.
No, not Elf.
She's not in Elf. Who's the woman? Who's the person in Elf? Who's
Zoe Deschanel?
No.
Mary Steenburgen.
She's married to James Caan in that movie.
Yeah, it's Mary Steenburgen. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From Back to the Future 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm bad with names. So.
All right, so on to my number 3. Look, I think this is probably the longest standing crush. It probably not my first, but the one I really kept for a little while. Oh, we lost Chris.
He said he'll be right back.
Oh, I don't want to reveal my choice now. Damn it, Chris. Go piss faster. Come on. All right, so should I wait or should? Okay.
No, I'm good. I saw a spider. I needed to kill it. Continue.
Oh.
All right, so my number 3, like I said, it's been a while. It's my first long-lasting crush. She played a movie that I technically should love, but I don't give a shit. I'll be completely honest about it. I absolutely love Princess Diaries, and it's for me Anne Hathaway.
Ooh,
I have something about the Bambi eyes. She's always happy. She might be a serial killer for all we know, but she seems always like the sweetest and probably the most down to earth. You can talk about anything and you probably have a good conversation with. And I'm sorry, I absolutely loved her in Les Miserables. She was a crowning jewel in that movie. That emotion, like you can see. Oh, okay. You can see. I thought they scored for a second there. I'm like, yeah, and then I got disappointed. You can see the acting chops. I think for the first time, like the next level of Anne Hathaway was in Les Miserables.
That's a great, that movie's very well done. I don't know. I need to go back and rewatch it, but yeah, she's very good. What's her name? Is it Fantine in that movie? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Fantine. What?
Yeah. No, she is. I have a quick anecdote about her. So my wife's aunt, I'll say my wife, a relative of mine, once referred to Anne Hathaway as homely, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is that?
So,
I don't know.
What does that even mean?
Homely means it's like, hold on, let me look
in this context. In this context, I know what it means. So what does it mean in this context?
Hold on. It just means unattractive.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Well,
Yeah.
they suck.
Yeah, it's basically. I'm like, how do you process like? Anne Hathaway is great, and yes, also I did not see the Princess Diaries growing up, but I watched both of them in like the last year, and yeah, she's really good.
Funny story of me is like my mom is extremely religious, so I was only allowed like Disney movies and like romance movies when I was growing up. Okay, like the second there was like a boob sticking out or like a bit of blood splatter, it's like no, you can't watch this.
Right.
So like here, Princess Diaries, like oh, and then I'm like, she's kind of cute, and then
Right.
like I like her.
Nice.
You loved it by circumstance. Like it's you almost have like Stockholm syndrome with the Princess Diaries. like you love it so much.
This movie 564 times. It's all I have.
It's been a minute since I've watched.
I love you so much, Hathaway.
And Julie Andrews. Like let's not forget Julie Andrews.
Yes, she's great.
She's a badass. She's a
Her security detail, having the romantic relationship.
Chris Pine's in the second one, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
That's I think is his debut.
Really,
I'm pretty sure.
early role for
No
him.
way.
I'm hold on.
Chris Pine's film debut was Princess Diaries 2.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Two. Yeah.
But it's in his
Sounds
early
right.
ass career. It's in his.
That's a
early
good
career.
5-pointer for. That's a good 5-pointer
Oh.
for Schmodown right there. If it is.
He was in a short film before that, but that is his feature film debut.
Oh my god! The
Princess
more
Diaries
you
2
know!
Royal Engagement. He was in ER before that too.
That don't count.
But that's
Nah.
his film
That-
debut.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh wow! The more you freaking know, that is a good. That's at least a good 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Pine's theatrical debut.
Yeah.
It wasn't what
Was
film.
in this romantic comedy sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
so funny.
So let's go to you, Chris. Who's your number 3?
So going back to the world of professional wrestling, I'm a big merc for pro wrestling, and my favorite superstar from WWE in the women's division is Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is someone who I have been a big fan of since she debuted in NXT, and talk about somebody in a wrestling character who not only is incredible in the ring, arguably the best in-ring worker, really in the company, man or woman. Like you can, she's incredibly talented. She's great on the mic. I love me a good personality. She brings that on screen, but she's evolved as a character. Like they call her the boss for a reason, and she brings so much character to the screen. Whether she's on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, she absolutely kills it every single time we see her. And some of my favorite matches, on my wrestling podcast, Wrestle Reel, every Friday on Watt Real Entertainment. I talked about Sasha not too long ago, because one of my favorite matches ever was one that she had a few years ago. It was at one of their NXT shows, and she's a big reason to why I was invested in that certain part of professional wrestling. So Sasha Banks, and of course, she's the shit. She
In the Mandalorian as well.
and she's in the
Yes.
Mandalorian.
She fights freaking Boba Fett and practically kicks his ass.
It's true. It is true.
She's also in the Mandalorian, and I'm
Yes.
big. Like I said, I'm such a big wrestling mark. But the second I found out she was in Mando, I'm like, oh yo, and she kicks ass, and she's a Mandalorian.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah, big love to Sasha Banks. Big love. I love her. She's great.
Two of my favorite women's matches in wrestling ever are Sasha Banks versus Bayley in NXT. The first one was in Brooklyn, and then the second one they had was an Iron Woman match at Full Sail University, where they used to film NXT. So, definitely you can make a really good argument that she's the best worker in WWE right now. Maybe not just in the women's division, but maybe in the entire company.
I'm saying, and the match I was referring to earlier was the one in NXT Brooklyn, Takeover Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I
it's a
love
classic.
that match so much. It's so damn
good.
But freaking Sasha Banks, she's the shit. She rules.
All right. Since there's no particular order, who's up next, Evan?
No particular order. Again, this is a pretty not basic answer, but this is a pretty predictable answer. I love Daisy Ridley.
Oh yeah.
Daisy Ridley is such a great actress. She's so good in the Star Wars movies. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what anyone else has to say about that. She does such a good job. She carries so much intensity, yet also so much fucking vulnerability. She's awesome. She kicks ass. She's just great. And I think she's like, I realized I already, I fell in love with her when I saw Force Awakens for the first time. But in The Last Jedi, I think her performance even elevated that initial love that I have for her. So she's great. I think, and she's really good in other stuff too. She's been in. She was in the movie recently with Tom Holland. I forgot what that was.
Chaos Walking.
Yeah. She was in that. She was in.
I love it.
Murder on the Orient Express.
I love her in that movie.
I thought that was actually underrated. That was a pretty cool movie. So she's fantastic. I hope she gets more roles because she deserves it. She's an incredible actress.
I'm gonna say that mine take away everything else. All the acting in the Star Wars sequels were great.
Oh yeah,
There was not
totally agree.
one bad performance
Adam
by
Driver
anybody.
is so good too, man.
Honorable mention, Oscar Isaac.
Yes,
The man's
honestly,
gorgeous.
Yes.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
is,
and it's
it's
great.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
Timing
I was just
issue.
gonna say it's interesting because Star Wars movies aren't necessarily known for having great acting, especially with the prequels, But I think with those sequel trilogies, say what you will about the movies, as a trilogy, but the performances are really really good,
Yeah.
and Daisy Ridley especially, I think it's between her and Adam Driver for me, who gives the best performance in those movies. I really love Harrison Ford in Force Awakens, but he's just in Force Awakens. Spoiler alert! And it's that one stupid scene in Rise of Skywalker. But I love Daisy Ridley. She's so great, and I hope she gets more roles too, and isn't thought of as just as Rey.
Right.
Because
maybe she'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe she'll come back for an episode 10. But I would love to see her in some other roles.
Go ahead, Evan.
I was gonna say a lot of the men in Star Wars too. In these more recent movies, I would marry most of them. I would love
Likewise.
an apartment with Adam Driver. I fucking love that guy so much. I think
he was awesome in Girls. I'm just saying.
I haven't watched that show yet either.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
He's really good in Black Klansman, which
Yes.
is fucking awesome too.
Yes.
Oh my god, he's great in that. He was great in Marriage Story. He's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it. Too depressing. I
so
just
good.
came out of a bad breakup. And it's
I love the pain. I love the pain, Luke.
Give me the
I love the pain and
Um,
drama and heartbreak.
It's true.
It's
All right.
amazing.
Yeah.
So Dagan, who's your number 2?
Okay, so talking about sort of maybe our first crush as a kid, growing up, for me at least, early teens, kind of that era where you're first starting to kind of crush on girls. This actress was very high up on my list. Certainly one of my first crushes, and still just stunningly beautiful at her age. It's, of course, Academy Award-winning actress Halle Berry. She is about 54 years old now, I think, but she still pretty much looks exactly the same. She's drinking whatever that fountain of youth that they have at one of the backlots in Hollywood, that all these actresses drink out of. And just so talented as an actress. I mean, stinkers aside, your Catwoman's, your James Bond, Die Another Day, which actually she's really good in that. She's probably the best part of that movie.
I might be the only one where she likes Catwoman. I'm just saying.
I think you are. Yes.
You are.
Wow, that's a first. That's a first.
Coming in with the hot takes today, Frenchie.
She
Yeah.
also, I don't know if she's the only person to do this, but she accepted her Razzie for that movie in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yes,
awesome.
she did. Yes.
It's badass.
So that shows how humble
Yeah.
she probably is as a person, and just what a talent! First African American actress to win Best Actress, I believe. for Monsters Ball.
I
Which
think
is-
so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
is that
is
true?
just,
Yeah.
I
Holy
think
shit.
so. It took them that long.
That's
It was
fucked.
way too late.
yeah.
But she is totally worthy of the Oscar in that movie. That movie is just a gut punch, but she is so good in it, and her chemistry with Billy Bob Thornton in that movie is just incredible on screen. And that's like what could be said about even some of these movies that she's maybe not as good, or the movies that aren't as good. She still gives a great performance
Yeah.
and still has great chemistry with the actors that she works with. So and again, one of these people that just seems like one of the most genuine, nicest people in Hollywood, and very giving. I know she's very generous to charities and things like that. And so still absolutely beautiful in her age, in her mid-50s, and I think is still going to look as good in her 60s and 70s and 80s. So one that will always be a crush for me.
And a turtle
Another
crush.
big geeky choice because she is Storm in the OG X-Men movies.
Yes.
Gotta love Storm. Like I
Yeah.
thought out of the could they have done the character a little bit better? I thought they wrote her some cheesy ass lines at various points in the franchise. But even when she popped back up in Days of Future Past, I'm like, yeah, she's a kick-ass Storm. And yeah, that's Halle Berry. She's freaking rad.
If they bring back any of the X-Men actors to like reprise their roles, even though it's in the MCU to be a different universe, like she's one you could see like them somehow bringing back as Storm again. Like she could totally still kick ass and play Storm if they wanted her to.
And she's the one. She's the one who replaces the Dr. Xavier, right? I see her as the headmaster
in like X-Men 3: The Last Stand. Yeah, kind of. Which is not the best movie, but again, like not the best X-Men movie, but she's probably like the best part of that movie, even though she doesn't really have that much to do.
Right.
Despite taking over for Xavier, it's just kind of like she's just kind of there for a lot of that movie, but she does shine, so it's interesting.
A lot of folks are just there for that movie, so it's not just her.
Agreed.
All right, Ben, who's your number 2?
My number 2 is big in the 90s and big in the 2000s. But I'm choosing her character from the 2000s. My number 2 is Shannon Doherty from Charmed. Look at that. Talk about she plays a badass witch. That's my finish. I guess badass women with powers. That's my finish, I guess.
But she's. I can say this. She was a standout in Charmed. Like Charmed was good.
One of the Charmed ones, but I forget what their last name is.
Halliwell.
What is it? Oh, okay. Here's a question. Is the fourth one a part of the same family? Because they added another one. It's the same. Is it the same last name?
The same mom, different last name.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Shannon died at the end of season 3.
Yeah.
And then brought in a new one for season 4.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
But else in Charm, what else did she play in? I only know in Charm. I have
Remember here 90210.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't watch that, so I couldn't tell you. But
I haven't watched either of those shows.
Yeah,
I can't say I've ever seen any of those shows, so I'm not quite as familiar with her, but I certainly recognize her. So,
that's obviously I've heard the name before. I may not be as familiar with her work, but I mean, the things she's been a part of, like it's like staples of culture from that time. We can't you can't talk about TV from the early 2000s without at least mentioning 90210 or Beverly Hills 90210 and Charm, at least in my opinion.
Right, exactly. No, Frenchie, what's your number 2?
All right, well, this is gonna actually require a little story because this I am sure no one has ever heard of her ever. She is a Instagram fitness model, but out of everyone's choice, It is rare you get the chance to actually speak to one of your crushes face to face or webcam to webcam. I actually did 2 episodes of the friend she talks about with her, and I couldn't decide which photo because I love her so much. So I got 3 because she's such the most unique looking beauty. She really takes care of her body. She actually went to almost dying of anorexia, going under 100 pounds and losing control of her life to finding her life. And that's where her Instagram handle is Stab Still Stock, from weak to strong. And that is Amanda Essen, which I'll show up right here.
Oh, wow.
She looks like somebody.
She's jacked. She's jacked.
And look at those arms.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
There's something so beautiful for me about that power and that femininity at the same time. And she's probably the sweetest. I still talk to her sometimes from to this day, and she is so sweet, so caring. And I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for accents, and she's from Finland. So during the show, like during times I actually interviewed her twice, there's times you can watch it. I don't even know if I was saying words. I was like, I've been following her for years. I've been loving her work for years. And then I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'll reach her. She'll probably never answer. Like 5 minutes later, sure, I'll do it. I'm like, what happened? So and then I was a wreck. My ex had like, it's going to be okay. You're going to be able to talk properly, and it was a blast. But it's for me, she's such a unique looking beauty that she's probably going to stay in my top 3 for a very long time.
That's I think that, and I was saying before we started doing this, like that's how I base the criteria off my list. Like if I were to meet these people, and like how would I react? And I'd be incredibly starstruck for any of the folks I mentioned, and even the last 2 that I am going to mention. Like that's nuts. That's awesome. You got to meet her, and you got to talk to her for extended periods of time, because not too many folks can say that. Where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm like friendly with someone who I admire, like that. That's raw. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like the first one we did is about her career, because I guess she's been to ups and downs. She literally almost died of malnutrition to going obsessive with training, and she does competition. She's in Spain right now doing competition.
Wow.
So yeah, she travels the world. So it's very interesting. All right, so
it's an impressive story.
Enough about Miss Muscles here. Let's go.
Is that what you call her? Miss Muscles?
No. Only in private. No. Chris, who's your number 2?
I'm staying in the realm of like multi-talented people. She's an actress, but she's also, again, somebody else whose music I do admire when the time comes. She hasn't released anything recently, but there are some songs that go through my Spotify and in my shuffle. I'm like, yo, this song slaps. It's really dope. And she's gonna be another nerdy choice. She's gonna be Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series. It's Haley Steinfeld.
Oh no.
I don't remember the first time I saw Haley Steinfeld in something. Like it might have been Pitch Perfect. I think it's the second one. But I don't remember the first time I'm like, oh, who is that?
Did you see True Grit?
No, I didn't.
That was my first experience with her. Yeah, she was only I think like 14 or 15 and that, but she got nominated for the Oscar for it. She's very good in that movie.
And that's what makes me feel wrong to find her hot right now, because I knew her at 14. Now it's like, this is
put up that Me Too warning,
but this is wrong here.
Put up that Me Too warning, Frenchie. Come on.
No, she was really good in Edge of 17 as well. If y'all haven't seen that,
right?
That's a fucking awesome movie.
She's great in that. It might have been now that I think about it, Bumblebee might have been it.
Oh, okay.
Where I was really where I became a fan of hers, and like her music came not too long after that, because when Bumblebee come out, 2018, so like it's been a minute. But and she, again, I'm a sucker for pop music, and she does both. She's a great actress, like a legitimate great actress, and like she like after True Grit, she didn't do too much of True Grit-esque roles since then, or she hasn't done too much since then. But I feel like when she does pop up and stuff, she's the standout of it. Like Edge of 17. Granted, she's the lead, but she's really damn good in that. Or like she just sticks out from the bunch in the Pitch Perfect movies, and obviously they put her as the lead in Bumblebee. And I thought she did a kick-ass job with that. And it was a great way to reboot the franchise. And she brought this sort of this naivety and like innocence to this convoluted Transformers universe that we had gotten for years prior. And those Transformers movies, regardless of what you think of them, you think they're ass or you think they're good, they're awfully they're too much.
The two extremes, ass and good.
like they're like the first one is good.
Yeah.
The last one I saw, what was it? Was it Last Night? Ass. Not good. not good. But when Bumblebee came out and they made her the lead again, like I think if you're gonna have humans in Transformers, it has to you got to play a certain character. I think Haley Steinfeld knocked out of the park. And honorable mention, shout out to John Cena, and Bumblebee, or really Dylan O'Brien. But
wait, John Cena's in that movie? I couldn't see him.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. Right. But
I was gonna say Bumblebee's on your top 5 list. Is that what you're saying?
Those are sexy wheels, Evan. Those are sexy wheels.
No, Dylan O'Brien. Yeah, he voiced the Bumblebee in the beginning of that movie. And if I had a 6, it'd probably be Dylan O'Brien.
I didn't know that. Wow.
No, yeah, he voiced the Bumblebee in the beginning. But no, Haley Steinfeld, she's so damn talented. I cannot wait to see her as Kate Bishop. I think that's one of the few castings where you absolutely nailed it. And if you fan casted a character, she's been fan casted as Kate Bishop for a minute now. And the second they announced her, or that it leaked that they announced, or that Deadline reported it, we're all like, "Yep, that's it." Like there was no hesitations. Like that, she's Kate Bishop, and hopefully we see her more going forward in the MCU. But maybe another geeky influenced pick. But I love Haley Steinfeld. She's great.
All right, Evan. So who's the next one?
Okay, so my next one is somebody you guys probably aren't familiar with. Nope. She is a journalist and host. She hosted the Star Wars show. She still does, I'm pretty sure. She's at every celebration, and it's her name is Andy Gutierrez. I love Andy Gutierrez. I think she's so cool. She's like such a badass. I feel bad because like every time when celebration ends, they like end the show and they're like all signing up. They're signing stuff up on the stage and everything. And I always want to go over there, and I do go over there, but I feel really weird about it because there's like all it is. It's not like kids. It's like 40-year-old sweaty dudes. Just like, Angie, could you please sign this? Could you please wish my kids happy birthday? Like I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like I am. I'm like, good thing I'm not a heavy set guy with a beard going up there and asking for it. And I look at myself and I'm like, fuck.
Oh wait.
And so no, but I love this woman. I think she's great. She's really cool. Like she used to run the Star Wars social media stuff as well. So like she's very like I don't know.
Involved.
She's quippy and like she's great. I love her. She's just cool. She's like badass. But yeah, that's
funny.
Yeah, that's so yeah. But no, she's really cool. If you guys ever are at Celebration, she will be there. You know.
Or duly noted.
All right, and what's your number? We're at number ones, man.
Number one.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
so the crowning moment. Who is the future Miss Dagan?
Oh gosh. Well, not to totally spoil it, but I think I have some serious competition by someone who is old enough to be my grandfather. So this was an easy choice for me. I joked with Frenchie a little bit that she could be like number 1 through 5 could all just be the same person here. Okay, I won't hype it up anymore. It's Florence Pugh. I mean, she's like,
she's so cool.
She's just an awesome, seems like an awesome person. Everything you hear about people who've gotten to work with her is that she's just like the best to work with. And she's so diverse with her choices of the projects that she works on. I mean, you look at like just recently, she's done Fighting with My Family, which is like a total feel good sort of family movie about her playing Paige, the wrestler, and it's just very like uplifting and you know it has a happy ending and everything. And then like a year later, she did Midsommar, which is like one of the most fucked up movies that you'll ever see. And
she's so like. Oh, that she conveys trauma so well in that movie too. That movie's fucked up. Yeah. I love that movie.
It's torturous.
That movie is so fucked up, but it's like one of my favorite movies of the last decade. So
it's true.
I don't know what that says about me, but
I'm partial to Hereditary, but that one's really good too.
Yeah, I haven't seen Hereditary, but
check it out.
It's a good watch.
Yeah,
that's the most disturbing movie I think I may have ever seen.
Midsommar. Midsommar beats for me.
That's fair.
The fact that everything was so beautiful and in light, nothing was dark, right? It was like presented as the most beautiful movie with the most horrifying scenes possible, and it's at the real end when the event happens with her boyfriend. I won't spoil too much, and then she starts smiling.
That smile. Oh my god.
May Queen.
I think we can all agree that Ari Aster is one fucked up human being.
Yeah.
I bet he's great. I bet he's a great guy. People love working with him apparently, but his movies are awfully torturous.
Hereditary is like.
Don't forget, we're going to see Florence in Black Widow in a few days.
Yes, true.
And that's what I was just about to kind of point out. Similar to Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld, Florence Pugh as the character that I can't ever pronounce it correctly, but the character that she plays in Black Widow coming up, both of those characters have history, I believe, in the comics. So we could very well see those two team up in the future. I think the rumor is that Florence might be showing up in the Hawkeye series. So
I've seen that too.
So I would love to see like a future MCU movie that's just like the two of them teaming up. But it's seemingly Florence Pugh is going to be passed the torch of the mantle of Black Widow. Obviously no spoilers, but if you've seen Endgame, there's a big thing that happens, and so Scarlett Johansson might not be playing that character as much in the future. So having Florence Pugh, who hasn't seen Endgame? Seriously, okay, wait a minute. Who hasn't seen Endgame?
It's not what you think. She's on vacation.
Yeah, right.
She needed a couple Mai Tais. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. So spoiler alert. Scarlett Johansson's character dies, and the Black Widow movie is actually a prequel. It takes place before Infinity War. So I'm sorry, everybody. I don't mean to spoil a $1 billion franchise, but
how dare you?
So bottom line is Florence Pugh. I think we're going to see a lot more of her in the MCU in the future, and I think she is one like that for sure. I feel like will be winning Oscars and nominated for awards, and similar to like Anya Taylor-Joy that we were talking about earlier. Florence Pugh is going to be one of these sought-after actresses that everybody is going to want in their movies. Right. So
it's these women who are in these really great horror movies recently too. Like Toni Collette is now getting a lot more roles. Like, it's so cool. Like, I think if you can, the way I said it before, but like the way that Florence Pugh conveys grief in that movie, like the shortness of breath that she gets throughout that movie, like that movie makes you feel anxious as fuck. And it's like 90% because of her, and I think it's she's great.
And she's great in Little Women too.
Yeah. Yes, that's a fucking awesome movie.
So Florence Pugh seems like she didn't really sleep when they made Midsommar. I mean, she's just true. Seems like she so embodied that role, as you were saying, kind of about the grief and her emotion, and just like the relationship between her and her the character that is in that plays her boyfriend. I forget the actor's name, but the chemistry between the two of them, it's just like this.
Like something.
They love they kind of like, it's almost they love each other, but they want to kill each other. but they're almost feel like they're forced to be together. They shouldn't be together, sort of thing.
Sure.
It's just very like the embodiment of almost a toxic relationship.
And at the end of that movie, you're just like, okay, yeah, this is what
makes
should
sense.
happen.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So our first number one is done. Let's go to Ben. Who is the Miss Future Ben?
Well, I know I can't marry her because, well, I'm getting, she is married and I have a family. She was big in the 80s, she was big in the 90s. I think she was also big in the 2000s. Tiffany Amber, I can't ever say her last name.
Oh, it's Kelly Kapowski!
Kelly Kapowski.
Kelly Kapowski.
Hell yeah.
Played by LaBelle. Did I say any more? I mean, is there anyone more iconic from the 90s to hell, even on 2020?
I've never seen her. I don't know who she is.
She was the main female lead in Saved by the Bell.
That would explain why I don't know her.
Right.
Okay.
It's understandable. No, that's great. That's fucking awesome.
I mean, and she was also in Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, I know. Love her. She's an awesome actress, great comedian, great funny actress, great dramatic actress, and overall beautiful presence too.
She's got range.
That's so funny because it's I think unfortunately a lot of folks only know her as Kelly Kapowski,
right?
But she's one of those where I think people more so crush on the character more so than the actress herself. Like, because a lot of people like grew up watching Saved by the Bell, and they probably just had a crush, like just how like Zach Morris did on her. I bet we all did as well. Like for me, someone that I contemplated that I didn't put on my list was Danielle Fisher, but a lot of folks may know her as Topanga from Boy Meets World. Like, I'm like, yo, like I wouldn't put Danielle Fisher, I would put Topanga. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like the perfect age as I grew up with Boy Meets World and like watching the reruns on ABC Family all the time. I'm like, this show rules, and Topanga is so sweet.
Topanga is the waifu character of Boy Meets World.
She's so good in that shit too.
Chris, I would agree with you, but I think personally I like Tiffany better in Beverly Hills 90210. I like both characters, so that's why I chose the actress instead of a character.
Ben, you're wrong. Just accept you're wrong. You can't.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Look, here's my show.
How dare you have your opinion about who your celebrity crush is? How dare you?
How dare it be different from mine?
Welcome back to Shooting the Breeze with Evan Bushcar, everybody. This is
hey, you have your own show on Schmoes. Don't start.
It's true. It's true.
All right, so let's go on to my number one. Is crazy written all over her face? Yeah. Is she sought after now? Nope. Is she a good actress? Not really, but I find her absolutely gorgeous. I am obsessed with her since I've discovered her. For me, I've discovered this because of her and Lily Collins, which used to be one of the crushes, but kind of like got pushed down. Apparently, I like big eyebrows. Is all I gotta say. It's something I've discovered about myself. I'm attracted to big, dark, or in our case,
is your number one Eugene Levy?
Yeah.
And a pie. No. For me, I'll do one thing. You guys might understand who it is. It's Cara Delevingne.
Oh, yes.
She's a really good actress. What the fuck are you talking about?
She's not that good.
Really good? Let's pump the brakes, Evan.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many movies with her, but I think she's good.
But
I've seen her.
It depends in what. Like Paper Towns, she was gorgeous, but it's more of a character. The writing didn't really fit. But I absolutely love Cara Delevingne. My Instagram, okay, it's like Cara Delevingne. Hey, a baby, Cara Delevingne. You know,
there was something with her that really pissed me off. She did a great interview where she was like, she was being funny. She was being sarcastic with the interviewers to be funny. And they were like, oh, wow, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Like, they're being mean to her. Have y'all seen that interview?
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking
It's
about.
so
Yeah,
fucking
people were
mean.
bitching
Like,
that. Yeah, people were like, she's so like
they were
doesn't
like,
want to
that-
be here kind of
when
thing.
she
But she
left
was
the
just
call-
being sarcastic. Yeah.
she left the call and they were like, wow, she was in a mood. And I'm like, grow the fuck up. She's just being funny. Like, it's okay.
But
Yeah,
if you see her often on interview, she's weird. I mean, like the Suicide Squad, like the Suicide Squad like group thing. She was always the one. Even the other ones were like, what is she saying now? What the fuck is going on? She has such a personality, and I'm attracted to that. I like the people who doesn't fit the norm, and I kind of like stick out like a sore thumb.
She embraces who she is.
Oh, definitely, and she definitely embraces her eyebrows. Thank God. Hey, just say, and I almost made Chris choke.
I was prepared for your number one to be maybe not Eugene Levy, but Daniel Levy. Dan Levy. Yeah, Dan Levy. Like okay, like totally. That's my number 7.
I have a Dan Levy sweatshirt. I have a Schitt's Creek sweatshirt.
I love
Nice.
Schitt's Creek. Schitt's Creek, another Canadian product, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no,
yeah. Schitt's Creek rules.
Also, Eugene Levy is fucking awesome in that show too.
I have a crush on that whole cast.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
The funny part is I actually watched all 4 like the main American Pies maybe like a couple of days ago. I did a binge run. So, but not on guys, only on girls. Like I said, for Lily Collins was another one. Like Mirror Mirror, I was like, where have you been? But she didn't crack my top 5 because I don't know why. It was like flavor of the year. Then like, I found other people. Bye.
How about Amelia Clark?
No, my dad absolutely, like, again, feels wrong because my dad's 60. Like, find someone your own age, but still, my dad absolutely loves her. But no, not Emilia Clarke. For me, my girl is always going to be, and she has this je ne sais quoi, a bit like Michelle Pfeiffer. She kind of reminds me of Michelle Pfeiffer in a couple photos. If you really look at her, she kind of has the same type of face and expressions.
Word.
So here's my question for you, Frenchie. What would be more likely to give you a heart attack if you met Cara Delevingne or watching this overtime of this hockey game?
I know it's killing me because I keep hearing to go like, Cara Delevingne and watching a hockey game with her.
Oh, there you go.
Chris, just go as slowly as possible on this next one.
Okay, I'll take my sweet time. And Frenchie knows I can talk. So.
Oh yeah. You're gonna rush it, motherfucker.
So my number 1 is Dan Levy. No, it's not.
Yes.
But he would be in my top 10. So no, my number 1, again, going back to the world of pop music. I actually fell in love with her music first. Before I realized, I'm like, oh, yo, like she's gorgeous. And even like over whether it's her self-titled project or her album that came out last year, I think she is like, she's already a star, and I'm shocked. Maybe Frenchie, I don't know what kind of music y'all be playing up there, but like she's the shit over here, and it's Dua Lipa. Like I don't know if Dua Lipa is like so niche nowadays. Oh, but like Dua Lipa, like not only is she a beautiful human being, but I just like all of y'all, I spend a lot of my time on YouTube watching these, like watching just bullshit. And I forgot when I think she did like an interview with a radio station somewhere. I'm like, yo, like why is she so fucking cool? Like she, like not only is she absolutely beautiful, but she seems like she's so much fun. And I actually got to see her in concert before. I went to Lollapalooza in 2018, and she was there. And not to brag, but her and I made eye contact, so it was a whole thing. I think that's when I fell in love, right at that moment. Yeah. Oh, but no, like seriously, like, I fell in love with her music first, and like her self-titled project is so dope. But Future Nostalgia came out last year, and her star just rose.
Sorry.
You're in the Stanley Cup Finals. Congratulations.
It's 1993, baby. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sorry that we pulled you away from that.
Hey,
Boo! Boo!
But yes, my big celebrity crush. It's someone I like. Anybody that asks me who my celebrity crush is, it's not. This isn't even like a competition.
Right.
Like Dua Lipa is like my number one. It's the first one I mentioned. Like I think she's so rad. She's gorgeous. She's incredibly talented. And probably when we get done here, I'm probably gonna go listen to her music. So yeah, Dua Lipa, my number one. She's the shit.
As someone who has an eyebrow fetish, hello, but never.
The more you know.
Eyebrow fetish.
And I actually know someone who has exactly the same eyebrow fetish as me. Again, I still can't explain it. It's my ex like, you have an eyebrow fetish. I'm like, really? Oh, damn, that is true. But I've never heard of her, but I've actually known her music. I checked her out on YouTube afterwards. Like, oh, that's who sings that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
She's dope. Wendy Williams can't say her name right. Wendy Williams.
Said she called her Dula Peep.
Dula Peep.
Like she's like, oh, Dula Peep, and it's been a meme. Me and my friend Victoria, we always because we both love Dua Lipa, and every time we see each other, we're like like Dula Peep, Dulapua. Like we meme the hell out of her name. So maybe that's adds to it too because we meme her so much. But I love Dua Lipa; she's great.
Or when John Travolta said Adele Dazeem.
That's worse. He was no
that was definitely worse.
The wickedly talented.
Wickedly talented.
Yeah, the wickedly.
And then he tried to redeem himself the next year. He like tried to redeem himself, but it was even creepier because he was like touching her face and stuff.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
What are you doing, dude? You're making it worse. Stop.
Leave her alone, for the love of God.
All right, so look, Evan, I have to go celebrate because again, since '93, this never happened.
No,
I never.
Oh, get out of here, Frenchie.
I never thought this would happen in my lifetime. The way they usually play, why put a goalie usually? But right now we're in the final. So who's your number one, Mr. Evan?
All right, guys. I've been saying that all of these the rankings are irrelevant, except I have a number one. This is my number one. So I, this person is an entrepreneur, total fucking badass. This person is going to rule the world one day. It is Gru from Despicable Me. No, just kidding. I sent that like last minute to French.
Yeah, I know, and I just saw it. Like I was like, "Holy shit! I have to download it now."
Anyway, no, my number one pick. I love this woman. I think she's such a great actress. She was in Star Wars as well. That was kind of my introduction to her. Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran. We can go and throw her up. I love Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah.
I think she's so cool. She's so just chill and down to earth. She's been in some really great movies, actually. She was really good in Raya and the Last Dragon.
I love her in that movie. That movie's great.
It is. It really is too. And so her character in The Last Jedi is fucking awesome and underappreciated because she conveys so much vulnerability. Again, like she's like this hard exterior. I think a lot of the time, like she's very short with Finn and like the whole movie and everything, but then she conveys so much like kindness. I think that's the really cool thing about her in those movies. She should have had more to do in 9. I think they should have given her a lot more to do, but they didn't. I don't know why. It's fucked up. But anyway, yeah, I love Kelly Marie Tran. I think she's so good.
Here's how much I sucked. I just understood who she is after now.
Yeah,
I did not know who she was.
No, she's cool.
Like Kelly, that tells me something. That Star Wars, hello, dumbass.
Right? No, it's true. No, it's no. Her kind of big. I mean, she had been in some stuff before, but like, I remember I was at Celebration the first year because they kind of like brought her out, and like the first time she had really been in something as big as Star Wars, like it was crazy for her because it's a whole different world that she's getting used to now and everything, and she was very emotional about it. She's very cool. Yeah, to people, she's great. She's so cool. I feel like every single thing I've been saying about her was like, oh yeah, I love this person. She's cool. Next, but I could go on and on about Gru though, man. I would fuck Gru, dude. Me and Gru are gonna totally pop one off one day. I swear. No.
I ship
while the minions watch.
Grushkar.
While the minions watch. I'm saying.
I stand Grushkar. I stand.
Oh yes.
I stand Grushkar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Me and Gru, we're gonna get matching scarves. It's gonna be great. We're gonna live in that wonky ass house he lives in.
That
with
was
his 3 Goyles.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Miranda Cosgrove plays one of them. I'm also in love with Miranda Cosgrove.
She's great too.
On that note, okay, that's wrap up here. Thank you everyone for coming to this very fun, very special episode of Shooting the Breeze. It was a blast. We have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have me on again to talk about Gru, and it'll happen.
We'll do it. We'll work it.
Top 5 animated top 5 animated characters that you have a crush on.
Yeah.
And I got a couple. I'm just saying.
Evan, where can everyone find you?
Oh, wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, look right here. At Evan Bushcar is a good one. I'm a competitor in the Schmodown. I just lost, but go check out my matches. Look at me on Twitter. I post all of my work there. I'm a filmmaker and podcast host. Go check out my shit. Do it. What are you doing with your life that's so fucking important that you're not going to check out my shit? Go check out my shit.
Minky, where can everyone find you?
Oh, Frenchie. Yes, you can find me on Schmoes North, where you can also find Evan on Let's Talk About Some Star Wars with my man Taco.
Oh yeah, I'm on a podcast on Schmoes North.
Thank you for plugging my channel. You're only on it.
Forget about it. I don't know why, man.
Oh God, no. Yes, you can find his show, but you know what? Fuck his show. He forgot he was on it.
It's okay.
But you can also find me on Schmodown 9 Canada, Fridays and Sundays. Less Sundays because work has been hell, but usually sometimes Fridays. Talk about Schmodown and anything related with Schmodown stuff like the FCL. And you can also find me on Saturdays on Jay Wade's show, where basically I give him a heart attack every time because we never agree on. Speaking of Schmodown, that's about it right now.
Chris, how about you?
Yeah, I'm all over the place. I do like 50 shows a week. So typically you can find me on Watts, W-A-T, Real, 2 E's, Entertainment. I literally, before I got on this, I just got done talking about Loki, episode 3. That's on the channel. I do Spin from the Reel, a Schmodown reaction show. Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Wrestle Reel, my pro wrestling podcast, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, will be on tomorrow. And you can check out my personal podcast, my Everything podcast, For Chris's Sake, FORCHRIS_SAKE. If it's not Schmodown and Wrestling, I'm talking about it there. For Chris's Sake, wherever you find your podcast, Spotify, Apple, all that jazz. And you can. I was on Evan's show. Let's talk about Star Wars. I do other shows. It's great. Yeah. Thank you.
Lincoln, how about you?
Am I hearing the post game of the?
Yes, that we won.
Canadians. Okay, so you can find me rooting for either the Tampa Bay Lightning or the. Well, no, I can't root for the Islanders. So you'll find me rooting for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hopefully in the Stanley Cup final.
Here's the thing. If it's Islanders that goes to the finals, are you taking Canadians?
I can't root for either of them. I don't know what to do, Frenchie.
Yes.
But so you can find me on Twitter at DaganSB, DAGANSB. I'm also doing a bunch of shows coming up this weekend. Hopefully tomorrow, if the Schmodown matches drop on time, I'll be over at the LGR tailgate on Twitch, twitch.tv/LGR network. I've also been writing some articles for them for their website. And then I will be on, speaking of, on Saturday with Frenchie and Jay Wade and a lot of yelling, sure, to be had over there. And then myself and Corey Cameron will be back after a week hiatus on stereo.com/DaganSB, doing our Schmodown recap show for the week. And then also, I think this weekend I'm going to be doing a show on stereo with my brother, or hopefully both my brothers, who worked on A Quiet Place 2. And so we're going to be reviewing that movie, and I'll be talking to him about kind of what it was like to work on the set and everything. So that should be a lot of fun as well. And
Hey, you got to
thanks.
talk to somebody about how hot Gru is, so
Yeah,
that's comparable.
that might be the highlight of my week so far.
You do
Your whole life.
realize now that I'm sending that picture to Soda, and he's popping Gru on your show now.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a great time doing this with you guys, and I got to thank you again for the invite. Always fun to do a show with Ben over here.
Oh, anytime, man, anytime. And you guys can find me right here every Tuesday, right here on Shooting the Breeze, every Friday on Recapping the Past, every Saturday on Get This Radio flagship show. It is a lot like this. We just count down on top 5 or something. And also on Saturday on Matt Schmodown, my Schmodown show, where we go into players' careers. And this week we're going into the career of Blood, Monk, and Draco. That should be a fun time. So,
Now, I just realized we're like 3 Schmoes in North versus 2 non-Schmoes in North, so we're dominating right now.
I'm like honorary Schmoes in North.
And oh, come on, you're more honorary. Speaking of Schmodown, you're basically part of the furniture in SOS.
I've been on Schmoes in the North a few times.
Yeah, you have, but not as much as on speaking of Schmodown. Speaking of Schmodown, like Jay Wade has a man crush on you. That's for sure.
And I love him, dude.
Jay Wade was definitely trying to get you for that co-host spot. I'm like, man,
you fucking thing.
all right, thank you everybody, and we'll see you next week on Shooting the Breeze. Smash Cancer and
Sorry.
Smash Radio. Bye, have a good one.